So, Martin Scorsese has returned with a film that he has been trying to complete for 28 years. Based on this book right here, which I have not read, but I heard is pretty damn good. And holy fuck, the master himself has done it yet again. Scorsese is one of my favorite filmmakers of all time, crafting some of my all-time favorite films as well. And personally for me, this has been my favorite film from Scorsese thus far, The Aviator. I completely adore this film. It's been my favorite film of his for quite some time. But now Scorsese has made Silence. This movie is just so conceptually dense with extraordinarily intricate questions and ideas. First off, the cinematography is just gorgeous. Wide shots like this of characters moving through the environment are just so visually striking. And when Andrew Garfield says, "I pray but am I lost? Am I just praying to silence?" Cinematography-wise, this was one of my favorite sequences in the film when that quote is said. The color palette of this film and how it's shot truly makes you feel like you are immersed and as if you have just been honestly dropped off into 16th century Japan for the next couple hours. This is definitely Scorsese's most satisfying and beautiful epic that he has made thus far, for sure. So many things to love about this film. For example, this scene right here, how it was directed, reminded me of old, really masterful silent films. And the acting in general, just across the board, was so convincing and very moving as well. But the standout for me is Andrew Garfield, who was just monumental in this film. This is probably the best performance that I've ever seen from Andrew Garfield. And my God, his acting in this sequence right here just tore me apart. I mean, he really did work in this film. Also, this film has the most intense and the darkest scenes from any 2016 film that I've seen from the year. Scenes like this, or like this, or like this, were just devastating. Silence for me was very similar to 12 Years a Slave in terms of how the film affects you emotionally. Also, the scene that takes place before this moment right here, the scene in which we finally learn what happens to Father Ferreira, aka Liam Neeson's character, blew my fucking mind apart. I mean, in that scene, like, who was right? Which character perspective made more sense? This film asks some jaw-droppingly complex questions. For example, is the film actually about a man who has tremendous faith that gets tested but he never truly gives up? Or is the film actually about a man with extreme faith who eventually gives up on his religion and on God himself? And this is a really dark, heavy, bleak movie. I mean, what exactly is Scorsese trying to say with this film overall? I could go on and on, but fuck, even the first image from this film is probably the most thought-provoking introduction to a Scorsese film yet. For me personally, Scorsese has crafted a masterpiece. A film that affects me the same way as Seven Samurai from Akira Kurosawa. A film that affects me the same way as the Samurai trilogy from Hiroshi Inagaki. Which, by the way, these are films that I love intensely. For anyone who loves to obsess over cinema like I do, you should find cinematic nirvana here. Yeah, this is an easy 10 out of 10. I was just blown away by this film. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, definitely make sure to smash that like button and subscribe as well. Also in the comment section and in the description box down below, you can add me on various social medias. And in the lower right hand corner of the screen, you should see a little circular button. You can tap that to instantaneously subscribe, and I'm out.